Let me start peeling them.
Okay.
Let me find a knife that...
I didn't know if I needed to bring anything else over here. I didn't know if I needed to bring sugar or... I didn't bring anything.
I don't take that much sugar because we
ain't got that much to do.
Because you put 2 measures of Pears to 1 of sugar, and we'll just start peeling them. This is the first step towards making pear preserves. Is peeling your pears.
And these were the last 5 pears that I picked off the tree. There was 3 in the tree and 3 on the ground.
Well, this one's pretty firm. It must have been come off of the tree.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 of them came off the tree. I looked all over. I didn't see any more on the tree though. I think Virgil, he took a couple of them.
I picked a handful one day when I was over there, and I never did eat but 2 or 3 of them. I don't know if little Chloe got any or not. She loves these pears.
I think she took some of the ones I had in the house. She saw them over there one day.
Well, maybe next year it'll have more, because they're usually about every other year.
I'm thinking next year they're going to be good. I want to put some fertilizer around it and the apple tree. And my scuppernine. Maybe they'll do good next year.
Yeah, they ought to be muscadines and scuppernines. They usually just bear about every other year.
Yeah, we didn't have any this year. Had a few, just not a lot.
Well, to begin with, I saw a lot on the trees. I don't know what happened to them.
I think that drought we had there for about a month. You know, it quit raining.
Yeah.
But I'm going to cut down the trees. There's about 4 or 5 pine trees that are around my scuppernines. I'm going to cut those down. I'm afraid they might fall on the trellis.
Well, old pine trees are not worth anything anyway.
I'm going to leave the other trees around. I'm just going to cut the pine. There's only 4 pine trees that are kind of in the way. And then I can expand the trellis some. I can build it a little further.
Any of those trees over towards the garden, if they're cut down, your garden will do better without the trees around it.
Yeah, I may, it'll take a while, but there's a bunch of pine trees around there. I may just cut them all down. I just got to plan for a spot where I can haul them off in the woods. That's the one that had a bad spot on it. It had bugs in it, and I cut that side off. Or it had ants in it.
You know, I'm surprised that the deer don't eat the pears over there. They eat betties here. Maybe there's more other things over there to eat than there are around here.
Yeah, they got muscadines, they got okra, they got peas.
Well, I've got
crab apples.
We'll have plenty of white velvet seed that the white velvet stalk didn't get washed over. The others, that flood washed them all down. And I got out there and put, and took some garden soil I had and bought, and I took it up there and put it, tried to pack it around them, because it had washed them completely up by the roots. The roots was it all plumb out of the ground. And I set them up and put that garden soil around them, and then the wind was blowing that day, and well, it was Monday, and the wind was blowing, and they kept blowing over, and I picked up rocks and packed them around them. And they're standing up, sort of, they're not real good. But the white velvet, it didn't wash that stalk over. It's the one that didn't hurt it.
They seem to be a little more stout.
So I've got, I know there's 6, maybe 7 pods on it that I'm letting just stay on there to go to seed. But that Silver Queen, it puts out other limbs just like white velvet did. You know, white velvet puts out other limbs. And that's why it bears so much more. And that white velvet's doing the same thing, because I had some stalks of it. I ain't gonna get to see how good it does because it washed them all down, but it was up there enough that it was already had put out limbs on it. They was already bearing okra.
I bush hogged down peas, what was left. Well, there weren't any peas left, and then bush hogged one row of the okra down. Because there wasn't any okra either, it's just nubs. Where did Sheba go?
She might be in the laundry room. Sometimes she goes in the laundry room.
Oh, she's behind me.
Oh.
I didn't make it over to Tim and Cindy's to look at their house.
Well,
I didn't go over to Tim and Cindy's to look at that where they've dug it out. Have you?
it went over there yesterday. It looks terrible.
I think it's going to be better once we get done, though.
I still think
The
that,
basement will be clean.
I still think the builders at fault on that.
It just doesn't seem like a wall should fall in like that off rain. But once we get the basement all cleaned out and pressure wash the basement, it's going to be in probably better shape than it was before. They won't have as much junk in there. I'm not going to take the pressure washer over there until they get the wall up. I'm just going to wait and do it all at one time.
It won't take these as long to boil as it would be if we had a whole big pan full. Because like if you're making jelly, if you have a big pan full, it takes it a lot longer to gel than if you're just making like a couple of glasses. Because when I was over there, when the blackberries I picked just about half a little boiler full of blackberries, and make jelly out of them, and it'd gel in about 15 minutes.
Did you make them from the ones that were up there on the other side of the garden, or the ones down there close to the blueberries?
No, up there, the ones that's on the
Don't have any briars on them. Yeah.
No, the tame ones that
I like the way
have
those
no briars
taste.
on them.
Yeah, I like the way those taste better anyway. They're sweet. If you get them, if you pick them once they're ripe, they're good and sweet.
Yeah. They keep bearing all summer, and if we could ever got all the grass and stuff out of them, it does real good.
I cleaned it out one time. This winter I'm gonna clean it out again and try to put some. I tried to put pine straw on. I don't think the pine straw did very good, so I'm gonna try something else around the base of it. Maybe I'll get some of that mulch. I don't know if that'll be good or not.
I noticed down here at the corner where you turn in, they've got a lot of that mulch that they've chopped up. I don't know if those people are going to use it or not. I said I sure would like to have that put on these things.
From trees that fell.
You know, one time when they had ground up trees over there, and I thought I'd put it on their land, but instead of putting it down close to the house, he had it up there in the very upper part of the garden. And I hauled a bunch down there and put on that there where the azaleas are. I'm going to cut these as close as I can to make more of them. If you had a lot of pears, you wouldn't probably do this.
You just cutting them into little pieces?
Yeah, just cutting them in pieces, cutting them off the core.
Keep barking at.
These pears don't have a real big core like some of them. I bought this for a keeper. I don't know if that's what it is or not, but that's what it's supposed to be. And I think it makes pretty good preserves. They're just a little juicy, but
Well, you know,
like to have a lot of syrup. But they're good eating pears.
I need to plant another pear tree down there because I'm afraid if something happens to this one, that'd be it.
Yeah.
So I need to plant another.
Well,
I'm gonna go up to the apple festival, see what they say.
This up here at Burger's Market, they getting their stuff all in. He's supposed to have trees this October. Well, this is his first day of October.
Yeah, I guess it's about October.
And he said he'd have fruit trees. He said he'd have that
Rome Beauty.
Rome Beauty apple.
What about Yellow Delicious and?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have the Golden Delicious.
I'd like to get. Yeah, I need to go over and get one then.
Well, if you want apples to eat, that Golden Delicious is a good eating apple.
Yeah, I like to eat those.
But if you want apples to cook, a different kind, well, any tart apple, if you want to dry them to make apple pies, any tart apple, the Granny Smith, or the Rome Beauty is just a bigger apple. It's a big, smooth apple. And I like to fry apples, kind of like to have it, if they use Granny Smith at Cracker Barrel, but I do them just like they do theirs, and I use the Rome Beauties. And they cook tender in about, like 5 minutes or so. And, but any real tart apple is good to dry for fried apples.
What do you think that red one is back there? Is that just a Red Delicious?
Yeah.
It didn't have very many on it this year. But it needs to be fertilized.
Yeah, I went up there one day when we was over there, and there was not any on it. And it still should have had apples on it.
It had some this year, but not more than five or six. I remember at some point seeing some green ones on there, and then I guess they fell off.
Well,
or something got them. Birds got them.
Or raccoons might have got them. Raccoons used to get them when we was over there. I said the deers got them at the bottom, and the raccoons got them in the middle, and the birds got them in the top. And see, these don't have a big core.
So you can get a lot more pear off of it.
Mm-hmm. I probably wouldn't skim them back this much if we had lots of pears, but since the pears are scarce, I was trying to get all the pear off of them I could. She's got that big core right in the middle. These, when you cook them, they make a lot of juice. I was reading in something that it was pear cobbler, and I guess they would make a good cobbler. I never did make one, but I guess they'd make one. I had a recipe for one anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But that recipe I used for peach cobbler, it says you can use any fruit to make it. And I make berry cobbler just like I do the peach. You just don't want to get in those little pieces of core in there because it won't taste good if you do. It wouldn't hurt anything, but it just don't
Wouldn't have a good taste to it.
taste good.
I think the Pears are on too. What time would they be on?
They might be on 147 or 48, so
Yeah, they are.
I think they lost last night.
Yep, and I think if they lose, they're losing right now too. I think if they lose tonight, it's over with. You said you used to soak them overnight in sugar?
Hot ready.
What did you say you used to do? You used to soak them in sugar?
Mama soaked them overnight in sugar so they'd be firm, they wouldn't cook up.
No.
But I said mine they need to cook up anyway. I like mine to be soft. Maybe I can measure in this. I measure 2 measures of pears and 1 of sugar. Because see, they like if you're making jelly, especially if the grapes if the juice is sour and all, you put measure for measure of juice. But see, pears don't lay firm like juice. I'll measure like this.
That's about 2 of those in it. 2 potfuls.
Yeah, not full, but
Almost.
Fill this full. The sugar will just fill it part way. Juice out so sugar won't stick to it so bad. Won't take much sugar for these. I'll get this bag instead of using that one.
Okay.
And it don't matter what brand of sugar you use. This is all it is. Now I wouldn't use powdered sugar, but granulated, no matter what brand.
You need me to open it? Or you got it now?
Well, And see that wasn't full last time, so I'm not gonna put my, percentage more. You'll have a lot of syrup when it gets it. Now I'm gonna put just enough water in there to start that sugar melting.
Okay.
Because they will make their own juices as soon as it gets that sugar starts melting. Get all the sugar washed out. So it gets the sugar melted.
Start on low, is that what you said?
I'm gonna start it on low so it gets that water down there, gets the sugar start melting, and then turn it up a little. It won't take them long to cook.
Alright, almost. How long we had these pears on the? How long we had these pears on here? And it's on. You got it on about 4, don't you, right now?
Yeah.
It's been on there, what, about 10 minutes? 5 minutes?
It's been cooking about 15 minutes, I guess.
15
Because I just had it on real low till it melted the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned it up when it got the sugar melted. You can cook it faster, but didn't want to scorch the pears before the sugar got melted. I could probably cook them a little faster than that right now. We had a sticky mess.
What was you saying about it boiling over?
It'll boil over. When it gets near to being finished cooking, you've just got to stand over it or it'll boil over. Because it bubbles up when it gets almost done. And it'll boil over. Jelly does the same thing. But when you can just let it boil alone until it gets almost being ready, and then all it wants will just bubble up and boil over. So if you just got to stand there and watch it and either stir it, I usually just stir it down if I'm there with it. As you can see, it's beginning to turn and change colors. So you can see it's beginning to change color. It'll get kind of reddish looking, and pears will. But these pears are really juicy and they make a lot of syrup. I guess the syrup would be good for eating with pancakes. So anybody that eats syrup on their pancakes would be good to eat with that. A lot easier to get them out.
So you're heating this water up to boil.
I haven't heated it yet, but
You're going to?
I'm going to, yeah.
Boil the lids a little bit, and that way it makes it hotter.
Yeah,
You put them in the
get
jars.
that rubber soft in there so they'll seal better. They're not as red as some I do, but some of them are. Set these jars over here close to this so they get sort of warm.
See, I always thought they had to be real red. That's what they look like when they're in the jars. They look really red.
Yeah, I have them a little redder than that. These are cooking down pretty good. I'll turn them over, keep them stirred down there.
Well, these are the last, was it the last 6 pears out of 2009 off the tree? Is that what we said?
Yeah.
The last 6. There weren't any more on the ground, and there weren't any more in the tree. That was it.
I think I got about